Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation for Task 2 EEP 402 Educational Psychology. My name is Boss Anoi and my peer's name is Rodiwalaka. We are going to present on the topic that is given to us by our tutor, and the topic is pedagogy and andragogy. We will look at how these two ideas shape the way we teach in our changing schools and universities or secondary schools and primary schools, elementary schools as well across the country. Explanation for this uh, topic. This is the traditional teacher-led model, the pedagogy. Firstly, we are going to be looking at pedagogy, the pedagogical model. This is the traditional teacher-led uh, model of education. In this setup, the teacher is the absolute authority and the boss. The learner is completely dependent on teachers. They rely on the teacher to decide what is taught, how in unison, what is taught, how it is delivered, and how it is tested. Our first example that we are going to be looking at is an elementary school classroom in a remote village where a teacher writes the alphabet on a wooden blackboard and the children chant it back in unison. The children have no say in the lesson, but they have to follow the instruction where teacher has given them. And when the teacher said you call this name, they every one of them chant following the teacher. This is under the pedagogical model. Our two example that we're going to look at is a classroom where a grade six student in a primary school where the teacher stands at the front dictating definitions of community rules from a textbook while students copy them word by word into their exercise books. So, in this way of teaching, actually the students they do not know how to solve the problem or what that community rule will look like or what the feeling of that rule, but they are always copying what the teacher has said to them or instructed them straight from the textbook. According to Smith 2020, additional pedagogy assumes that learners have very little life experience to bring to the table. Therefore, the teachers act as the sage on the stage, the all-know experts. This structure is very important in the early years to make sure everyone learns basic literacy and numeracy in a standardized way. For example, the implementation of PNG standards-based education or standard-based curriculum in primary schools where specific daily lesson plans are strictly laid out by the National Department of Education to ensure all young kids across different provinces learn the same exact basic skills. So to say as an example to that, if let's say for a mathematics lesson in grade 9, the same unit and strand or topic that is taught in Port Moresby that is also taught in remote parts of the highlands. So this is how the our curriculum, SBC curriculum now is structured. The benefit, as an example, the benefit here is guided development. It provides a safe, predictable structure for young minds. However, the danger is that it can easily turn into Freire's banking concept of education, This is where teacher treats students like empty piggy banks, simply throwing facts into their heads to be to be memorized rather than creating them as active thinkers. Our example, first example, a high school a high school history class where students are forced to memorize a safe, predictable structure for young minds. Sorry. Example 1, a high school history class where students are forced to memorize the exact date of PNG's independence, which is September 16th, and the names of the first parliament members purely to pass a multiple choice test without ever discussing what independence actually means to their family. Uh, our next example, a science lab where students are given a strict pre-written recipe of steps to mix two ingredients or two chemicals. They just follow the steps blindly to get a grade without understanding the chemical reaction or thinking of themselves.
Okay, I'm the second speaker. I'll talk about the evolution into andragogy. Thank you. I am Rodi Walaka. As a, I'm the second speaker. I'm going to talk about the evolution into andragogy. As students grow older, treating them like empty piggy banks stop working. They get bored and frustrated. This brings us to andragogy, which is science and practice of adult learning. The Knowles Framework explanation, Malcolm Knowles, 1980, identified that adult leaders are fundamentally different from children. As individuals mature, their self-concept shifts from being a dependent personality towards being a self-directed human being. Adults want to take charge of their own learning, managing their own time, and know why they need to learn something before they look into it. For example, in PNG, a flexible open distance education for student or mature age university student who balances a full-time job, travel obligations, and family choosing to study their modules late at night without a teacher watching over them. Example 2, um, in-service teachers returning to university to upgrade their diplomas to degrees. They do want to be treated like school's children, but rather want the freedom to choose their assignment topic based on their own classroom needs. Impact on teaching. In adult learning classroom, the teachers shift from degrees, from being the sage on the stage to the guide on the side. Okay, learning becomes problem centered rather than just content centered. We focus on solving real world challenges using the students' own life experiences. Example 1, in a tertiary agriculture lecture, instead of just reading about soil types from an American textbook, the lecturer asked the student analyze real soil degradations issues happening in the Wadi Valley or the Makang Valley, using the students' own farming background to brainstorm solutions. Okay, example 2, in a business management course at a PNG university, the lecturer presents a case study of a local SME like a PMV, transport businesses, or a local kaiba that is losing money, and guides the adult students as they debate financial strategy to fix it. So our survey findings: to test this, we conduct a small survey among our own GDP peers regarding mobile phone use in the classroom. We found that adult students strongly preferred an adult learning approach where they were trusted to use their smartphone as material tools for instant reads and definition checking during group discussions. They strongly dislike a pedagogical approach where devices were completely banned. So one of the PNG example is students in a university seminar using their phones to quickly look up PNG constitution law or specific acts of parliaments during a live debate to back up their arguments. Okay, example 2, a group of tertiary students using WhatsApp to coordinate their team research projects and share digital PDFs outside of class hours, providing they can manage their own learning tools responsibly. I mean, responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you. To conclude, I will summarize this presentation. This presentation shines spotlight on a major crisis that is facing young people in Papua New Guinea. The massive culture shock and anxiety secondary school students experience when they finish grade 12. For years, our teenagers are completely spoon fed under a teacher led system, forced to memorize notes purely to pass their national exams. When they finally step into tertiary institutions, they feel totally lost because they have never been taught how to manage their own time, use digital tools responsibly, or do independent research. To achieve our national goal of raising strong, self-reliant citizens, our high schools and colleges must bridge this gap by shifting away from rigid rules and moving towards adult learning principles that teach young Papua New Guineans how to think for themselves rather than just what to think. Thank you, and our presentation ends here.